Hello, Scrappy Peeps. Suzanna here today for the Scraproom to share with you this 3-photo layout that I created using the Crafty Things collection from Simple Stories. So if you subscribe, you will get a selection of embellishments. So these are my particular embellishments. Remember, every kit is going to vary because they're split up, as well as 3 pattern papers in the main kit. So these are the papers that Rochelle has selected for us. And then you will get 2 pieces of cardstock, as well as if you subscribe to the add-ons, the pattern paper add-ons, these are the 2 papers in the pattern paper add-on. And then if you subscribe to the embellishment add-on, you get the full sheet of stickers. Pretty awesome, huh? So I am going to choose papers and work with both sets of embellishments, both those that come with the kit as well as the add-ons, and create this layout of flowers in our garden. So new to our garden this year are dahlias. I was inspired by one of my crafty friends. I've always loved dahlias and I've always wanted to grow them, but after seeing hers on IG, I thought, and seeing them available at Costco, I was like, oh, I'm going to get those. So I have printed my photos, and I want this to be a long collage, so to speak, a horizontal collage, and so I just adhered that one. I could have printed them all together, but in doing that, I'm running out of letter-sized paper. I use Red River paper, and so it's expensive. It's super expensive. It has gone way up in price. It's worth it, but I'm trying to be a little bit more judicial in how I choose to use things. So printed the pictures, and I'm just matting it with this multicolored floral. Obviously you are not going to see the florals, but you are going to see the multicolor, which just kind of gives it that little to make it pop out from the yellow grid that I'm going to use that's on the B side of that same paper. So I am using, as you can see, the background piece is that notebook piece with the florals at the bottom. With the busyness and the oversized scale of those florals at the bottom, it really doesn't need a lot more, but I like the way that this diagonal stripe just kind of pulls all of the colors that are in the bottom left to the top right and creates that kind of diagonal line there. I am going to create a bit of a visual triangle here, even though I have that diagonal line, and 2 of the elements work with that diagonal line and kind of pull in that top right corner, and you'll see how that goes. So I wasn't sure if I really wanted that diagonal this multicolor strip here, given that I had the notebook paper holes on the left-hand side, but I decided that it really needs it for that diagonal line. If I had all of the color on the right-hand side, it skews the scale to the right hand side of the page there, so you can see I move it. And I'm doing a little bit of a Suzanna shuffle here. I decided I wanted a little bit more balance between the end of the photos to the end of the striped strips. Tongue twister there. And then I moved it too far, and so now I've left a little bit of adhesive, and just using my adhesive eraser there to pick up that adhesive. So this is ultimately what it looks like, and I like that balance in color along that line. So I am now reaching into the selection of embellishments that I got. So you have a mixture of floral bits and the bits and pieces, as well as some foam stickers and some enamel dots. So I am going to use that floral piece, which is almost exactly the same as the floral at the bottom of the page. So I like that mirror effect. And then, so you can see here how I've got a nice mix of color in the top right. Then we go over to the sort of, let's call it middle left, where awesome and that stripe is, and then down to the bottom right there, and there is the visual triangle. And you can see how these pieces also fall along a diagonal line as well. So the weight of those big florals at the bottom is counteracted by the weight of pretty much everything that is up top there. So I am using my foam pieces. I'm pretty much using all of my foam pieces except for Creative to create that title. So the title of the layout becomes So Very Awesome. And pretty much this ends up being the bulk of the layout. I do decide to use that other floral beside Awesome, and I'm going to pop that on foam so that it's sitting at the same depth as the foam elements that came with my collection there. So I'm going to break into the stickers here and just put in just a few little bits and pieces. I'm going to use a couple of the word phrases as well as the enamel dots, and then I'm actually going to use one of the other pattern papers to just die cut some of my own leaves just to add a little bit more texture to the page there. So I'm popping these up on foam. Again, I don't want just the center of the page to have that dimension. I want to spread it out a little bit. So you can see I put those gold hearts at the bottom right cluster, and now popping up this ephemera piece just gives me, or bits and pieces, gives me a little bit more depth scattered throughout the page. So this is the floral that I'm going to pop up on foam, and I like this little gold foiled piece. It just adds to the gold foil, so you can see the three visual triangles are also connected by those gold foil pieces. But I want just a little bit more sort of movement, and by not adhering these leaves down fully, it provides me with that movement that I'm looking for to just kind of add a little bit more whimsy to the page there. So pulling out my big kick to just cut this and see it shift. The thing is with these magnetic platforms is I think, yeah, but it's fine because it's long. And so it still gives me a little piece to use, and I didn't want a whole lot of it there, and so that works perfectly. So I still have that multicolor stripe piece to use. I can't wait to use it, but I also wanted to point out how I am using a crafty themed collection for flowers, right? So just make sure you think when you look at collections that, oh, I don't have anything, you know, I don't want a scrapbook crafty stuff. You don't have to, and I do this a lot. So you can see the two word phrases. I'm actually going to put a third one in, and then I like to use these enamel dots attached to word phrases. It's almost like a bullet point, right? Just to draw your attention and add a little bit more color, as well as my infamous need for dimension as well. I'm also putting a few of the enamel dots in the center of the flowers. So the two flowers that look alike have enamel dots in the center of those. And again, it just gives a little bit more dimension and a little bit more visual interest to the page. So that third phrase, that's going to wrap this up. So again, this is a layout for the Scraproom. It is a kit club, but there are one-offs available. So be sure to check out the link down below if you are interested in subscribing. We would love to have you join us. Thanks for stopping in today. I hope you're doing well. Come back again soon. Take care.